guys, and welcome to this week's episode of The Grind with me, your host, Hibak Said. This week, we're going to be delving into cybersecurity. A lot of businesses are going on to the digital space. They're putting their operations on the digital space. How exactly is the internet significant to your business? And how exactly can you protect your data? We're going to be delving into all of that. But first, the market margins. Kenya ranks the third most targeted country in the continent in cybersecurity threats, with cybercrimes almost doubling in the last year. This can be faulted on the lack of or misuse of firewall and the hesitance of using the latest in IT infrastructure to safeguard data. To put this in context, cyber attacks in the country have skyrocketed, reaching a high of 444 million in the last 6 months, up from 350 million in the same period last year. And according to the Communications Authority of Kenya, the situation is escalating faster than anticipated as we continue to grow in the digital space. Now, according to the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, Kenyan businesses rank cybersecurity as the third priority at 10.9%, after competition with 17.4% and costs, including commission payments, transaction charges, and delivery charges, at a little over 12%. This is a good indication on the priorities of small businesses. However, cybersecurity and the cost of digital transition have been cited top among the challenges SMEs in Kenya face in the adoption of technology. A research by Center for International Private Enterprise shows that while SMEs form a significant percentage of the businesses in Kenya, they lag behind medium and large enterprises in adoption of digital technologies. Many factors constrain the participation in the digital economy of the MSCs surveyed, but 3 key issues stood out in the study: digital skills training and development, internet and equipment access costs, and cybersecurity. Remember, our topic today is how cybersecurity solutions are important for a lot of businesses. MSMEs usually struggle when they're going into the digital space. How safe is their information? What does it mean for them to move to the digital space and taking up cybersecurity solutions? Already we have our entrepreneur of the week. If you could just start by introducing yourself. What is your name? What exactly do you do?
Thank you so much. I'm Robert Manyala from Research Limited, an ICT company that deals with 2 things. One, a software solution which are security-based, and online marketing, the hashtag where we make you trend on Twitter and anywhere else. And basically, as Research Limited, after maybe doing this for over 8 years, for the last 8 years, there are several things that we have come to learn regarding cybersecurity. Actually, most people are now online. They say in Kenya, so many people are digitally fit, and by the way we make them digitally fit, that means we try to ensure that at the end of the day you have a software that can be able to help you run your businesses. Maybe we can be able to take you online, and the question comes, how safe am I online? So am I losing more than I'm gaining?
Robert, one must ask themselves, as an MSME, first of all, you are a business in and of yourself. A lot of your operations are already on the digital space. What are the measures that you take to secure this data?
Indeed, there are several things that we do to just ensure that if any case you automate your services, which actually is very, very important. There are so many things that we do to ensure that at least everything is okay. We might not achieve 100%, but we guarantee bigger percentage of 99%. It is difficult to achieve 100%. So what are the things that somebody need to do? So assume you have decided to go online fully, either as digital marketing, or you can be able to market your things online, or maybe you want to automate your services. Means like if you used to do things manually, you now have bookkeeping software like point of sale, like the one we do for people. So a few things you need to do. One, you need to ensure that you get first the right supplier, somebody who at least understands your security. So develop a system or acquire the software. Put your data into the system, then ensure you are good with what is called data backups. That's the first thing. Backup, the reason why people go for backup, in case something happen, at least you are good to go. So we recommend backup for maybe twice a day, like maybe lunchtime and at night. That means if something happen, you have your data until that time that it has just happened. Then number 2, there's something called SSL. This basically for people who are hosting their system on the cloud or on maybe on the Google or whichever way, you need to ensure that you buy SSL certificate. That means attackers or people who are trying to infiltrate and try to get your data, there are a way they can be blocked automatically. For people who have website, for example, that's one way that I believe I can be able to explain this, because 90% of business owners have website, and you have seen people getting hacked. So what do you need to do? Most of them, they just buy domains and host a website there. But ideally, it is good to ensure that at least they have security features installed on the website, because there are several scenarios where you wake up and you realize your website is not working. But also we tell people it is good to have a website unless you don't like customers or you don't need money, but it is good to have a website. But what is important is to have the security certificate for the same. Something else that we do is to ensure that you encrypt the password as much as possible. This will happen even to the emails. Most people have email, but what's the challenge? You realize the same email is the same password is being used everywhere. Maybe the name is Robert, so it is Robert everywhere. So anybody will want to hack you will easily just guess. There are some emails that people use and there are some passwords that people use. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Most people use that. Attacker will start with those simplest password. So we recommend that so oftenly use different password. Actually, we recommend you use your nicknames or the names that people are not aware of. And also,
Robert, just to cut you short a little bit, before we even go into the solution, as per your experience as a business first of all, and a business that deals with businesses that are acquiring these solutions, what are some of the operational breakdowns that you see? Because when businesses are transitioning into the digital space, they were bookkeeping, the traditional way, they go into the digital space, and all of a sudden the information is lost, and then operational breakdown happens. What is the safe transition for these businesses?
So let me give a scenario. Assume today somebody has acquired a point of sale, bulk SMS, biometric, or rent collection from software. 2 things that happen. If they were manual, we do what is called data transfer. We first put the data in an Excel sheet and now upload. Then what we tell them, do not throw away the one that you're having, but you can store them somewhere. But if any case they were having an existing system and they're trying to upgrade to higher version, which maybe make their work easier, where they can be able to manage everything online, we tell them you can do the backup of the previous system. So first you back up the data, then you transition the data to the new one. Then we like what is called, there are 2 types of rollover. You can do parallel, or you can just use the direct one, where you just stop first system and go to the second system. The parallel is very good mostly. This means if any case I was using a previous software like an ERP and now I need an ERP from RobiSearch, then I can be able to transit my data from the previous to the current one and maybe run with it for 1 month. That means as a business owner, I'm safe that all the data has been moved. Maybe it was bookkeeping software like point of sale, the one that we give people. You just ensure, are all the data okay? You can even go and do this for 1 month just to try to ensure, are all balances okay? My balance sheet or balance and all that, are they okay? Are all the transactions captured in the system?
Now, for businesses in the informal sector, and we start to wrap up a little bit, for businesses in the informal sector, going digital is very scary for them, because they're coming from a system where they had all their information to themselves, and then all of a sudden they have all their information out there for the people, and people can access it. What would you tell them? What sort of reassurance would you give them?
First, I will first encourage them to try, because it's better to fail trying than failing to try, because actually 90% of their fears don't happen. Even for people who have been hacked, only few of them. And there are people, just the same way people are driving, they say that people have become driver and many years and they have never gotten an accident. So simply, it means everybody has their way. So I will first encourage them to try go digital. They try to advertise online, create email, have system, because by the way, you might lose a lot by not willing to go there because you fear. However, there's something called, you can be able to detect, you can be able to prevent, and you can be able to put the measures in case it happened. Just the same way we have insurance company. They'll tell you in case something happened, we are there for you. But maybe you renew your license for 20, 100 years and nothing happened. Just the same way. But to ensure that at least they are safe, when they bring their data online, maybe they start advertising online, they start having website, they start creating such kind of software, I'll recommend first they just get to know few things that need to be known. Number one is to ensure that you have competitors, and sometimes your competitors are not happy. Therefore, whatever you can do, you can just ensure that you secure your system, whichever place you're going to procure it from. Let them tell you how you're going to do it. In RobiSearch, we encourage 4 ways. One, you need to ensure that the password is not shared. You change the password so often, like every week. Another one, you ensure that the database is encrypted in a way that if any case I log in and download it, I cannot be able to read anything out of it. And the last one is to ensure there's regular backup. And where possible for many company, big company, there's something called user logs. Who was trying to log in, who was trying to do what. This one really just help people. When you put such kind of measures, it is much easier. For people who are going online and they are fearing things like that, what we recommend for them is to ensure that at least don't also click links which are not authentic, because through the links they are able to grab some data and they can use it to log in to your system or do something differently. And finally, we have a lot of some spammed emails that are being sent to you. So before you are sure, do not reply them unless they are okay. For example, today, if somebody says that you have won and they have sent you an SMS and that SMS is not branded with the company name, I'm not sure whether you are winning or they are winning on you, because they say you're either on the table or you are the menu. And if you're on the table, people can eat you. So be wise so that people do not eat you. You become part of the table.
Right. Thank you so much, Robert. That is our Entrepreneur of the Week, Robert from RobiSearch, just telling us his personal experience as an MSME, what exactly he has gone through when he was, transitioning to the digital space, some of the recommendations he's giving to a lot of businesses who are transitioning into the digital space and having a database for your business. Now we go for a very short break. When we come back, we delve into the business capital. Wanasema wasemao kuwa elimu ni bahari haishi kwa kuchotwa. Wakati mwingi natangamana na wanafunzi madarasani, sio kama mwalimu bali kama nahodha kwenye kipindi cha tasnia ya elimu. Na iwapo utanikosa madarasani, basi utanipata nyanjani nikisaka habari zenye usawa, ufasaha na ukweli. Na iwapo utanikosa nyanjani, bila shaka utanipata studioni, hapa nikisoma habari na kuendesha mijadala mikomavu. Mimi ni Andrin Kilemi, mpenzi wa lugha ya Kiswahili na elimu kwa jumla.
They say money makes the world go round. So let's... Now on Business Capital, as technology continues to advance, the importance of robust cybersecurity measures cannot be overstated. The ever-evolving threat landscape requires businesses to stay proactive and implement effective cyber solutions to safeguard their digital assets, customer data, and overall reputation. Some of the solutions you can take up include endpoint detection and response. Now, endpoint detection and response solutions make it easy to detect devices that connect to your network and respond to threats that the system recognizes. And antivirus software. Although antivirus software has traditionally been very good at combating computer viruses, Modern antivirus solutions also do a great job of defending against other kinds of threats. A robust antivirus program can catch a variety of malware attacks by checking your computer for evidence of known threats. Next-generation firewalls. Next-generation firewalls provide broad protection against an array of threats, while also making it easier for outside users to enjoy secure connections to your network. They work by inspecting data packets as they are sent to and from your network. If a known threat is detected, your NGFW can automatically discard the problematic data packet. An NGFW can also be used to set up a virtual private network or a VPN. A domain name system protection. Domain name system protection gives you an extra layer of defense by preventing employees from accessing dangerous websites. Now, these systems can also filter out content that you do not want infiltrating your network, as well as content you would prefer your users to not access. An email gateway security. With email gateway security, you can prevent undesirable emails from infiltrating the accounts of your users. This includes both irritating emails like spam and more direct threats such as emails containing malware. You can also use logging and log monitoring, endpoint protection, authentication services or VPN, cloud-based security, web application firewalls, SD-WAN, enterprise password management or privileged access management, vulnerability and threat management, and finally, threat detection.
And right from our business capital, we go to our expert of the week. This week, we're going to be talking about cybersecurity, how a lot of MSMEs are now taking their operations into the digital space. What are the possible repercussions? What are the possible benefits that they could be accruing from this? Our expert is going to be discussing with us today. If you could just start by introducing yourself. What is your name? What is your area of expertise?
Thank you. My name is Alan Lwala. I'm a cybersecurity professional. I've been in the space for about 10 years. I currently work for a company called Xylem Networks, based in Uganda, but with operations around the region.
A lot of MSMEs are now going into the digital space. Kenya is the African Silicon Savannah. If you could just tell us, for MSMEs, how is this transition usually?
Well, right now, I think almost all organizations, even people, are moving to the digital space. This is because it makes life a bit easier. In the recent past, you'd find that, for example, if you went to a company, all the accounting was done on books, and there was a lot of money that was getting lost. But right now, that has been moved to the digital space. Apart from that, every single operation, I'm sure when you go to the bank, you sit down and you wait for your ticket number to be called. That is going into the digital space as well. But as this is happening, there are lots of challenges that also come in, where we've had lots of cases of cybercrime. Different types of crime targeting the different types of organizations, whether in finance, NGOs, and so on and so forth. Even media houses have been attacked in the recent past.
For a lot of MSMEs who already have their data maybe on social media and they might not be taking the precautions that are necessary, why is it important for them to secure this data?
So we get this question a lot, and I'd ask the same question when someone asks you, why do you have a password on your phone? Tell them, because I don't want someone to be snooping into my phone. For the same reason, even SMEs or any other organization should have some security measures put in place so that they're able to protect that data. That data, most of the time, is for their clients and also for themselves. So when this data leaks out, there's a lot of reputational damage that can happen to an SME, whether it's a big or a small company, because this, they say that for every company, that their image is their currency. So once your image goes down, your currency also goes down.
There is the perception, as technology advances, for a lot of these businesses, they would say that data breaches are inevitable. It's going to happen anyway, so why shouldn't I just keep my normal books, the ones that I had, that I used to write manually? Why is it important for me to go into the digital space?
So it's good that you asked that question. In cybersecurity, we say there are two types of companies: those that have been breached and those that don't know they have been breached. And most of the time, the ones that don't know are the majority. This is because they do not have the tools, the people, the policies to be able to tell them that such things have happened. And you see, when such things happen, you find that these organizations are running helter-skelter, trying to do A, B, C, D. At times, even whatever they are doing is not helping them out. So you need to have what we call the defense in depth. Defense in depth means having different multiple layers of security at the different levels so that you're able to protect your data and nothing spills out.
It's interesting that you have brought up the fact of having a lot of layers when it comes to protecting your data, and therein comes the aspect of cost. It's a bit expensive to secure data, especially for a lot of MSMEs who are just trying to go into the digital space. What exactly, or what strategies can they take to reduce this cost?
So now there are a couple of ways this can be done. I look at it from two different angles. One, the cost of a breach is way more than the cost of recovering from a breach, because in the end you'll still get what you had. Think of it like physical security. When I was coming into the studio, I had to be stopped at the gate. When I come, they had to check if I was armed or anything. I come in, there are CCTV cameras, you have locked doors and so on and so forth. So think of your company just like physical security, have the different layers. But then, and you're very right that the investment is very high. However, nowadays, organizations are coming up with models in which you can create something small that is specific to your organization, have it a managed service, for example. For example, we have a managed, what we call a security operations center. So with the SOC, we have the different layers inbuilt. Then you can come as an SME, buy it as a service, pay monthly, pay annual, based on how you want us to come up with an agreement. Then we'll help you to protect you as if you're a certain vault of a certain bank.
Say I'm an MSME, say I'm a business. What are some of the practices that I should be adopting in order to secure my data myself?
So we usually say that everything comes in threes. We look at the different things. We look at the policies. You should have all the right policies. And the policies come from international framework, then break it down to local regulation, then you come up with an internal policy based on your organization. Most organizations outsource this to a third party, only to realize that that party will just do whatever they did for company Y and replicate it here, not understanding the intricacies of that specific organization. So ideally is that every company should come up with their own ICT and ICT security policy that fits them. Then the second thing, we have the right people. This means invest in people who are qualified to be in cybersecurity. Then finally, we now look at the tools, and that's where most people focus. Most people try to get as many tools as possible without the right policies and the right people.
And in your expert opinion, of course, there are policies and regulations, and there is the Office of the Data Commissioner, but a lot of people would argue that with the rate at which technology is advancing and growing, these policies do not protect businesses so much. Would you say that maybe there are gaps that are to be filled, and how exactly can we fill these gaps?
So every year we read in the news that there's a need for over 2 million, 3 million, 1 million cybersecurity professionals. Yet we have our professionals sitting out there without getting jobs. And now that makes them turn into thieves because the gaps are bigger. In cybersecurity, we say that the attacker is always one step ahead, which means that they are smarter or they're able to outsmart what is there. But the way this can be done is by, again, combining the three things that I mentioned before. Having the right people, having the right policies, and having the right tools, and then being able to use that to at least cover as many loopholes as possible. If, again, I'll take you to an analogy that would make sense. There are police everywhere. Does it mean that crime does not happen? Crime does happen. But then we are able to reduce the amount of crime if we have the right intelligence and so on and so forth.
And finally, maybe as a parting shot for a lot of businesses that are a bit hesitant on going on the digital space, just one sentence, what would you tell them?